and welcome to Christmas 1972. This is Edmonton, Alberta. This is about a year before we moved to Abbotsford, BC. This is the very first Christmas that was filmed by my father, and that's on Super 8. Unfortunately, no audio. That really could have helped, as there's dancing in this video. That's my aunt and my uncle there on the right. And there's me holding up the Wing It game. I still remember getting that. That's my mother in the flowery dress. That's my brother in the blue jacket. He's about 4 years younger than me. My sister there was on the left. She's 6 years younger. So that's Randy getting his, I think it was a Mickey Mouse watch. So that's my aunt on the right. She's still around. My uncle there has passed away about 5-6 years ago. And this is the basement of our house in Edmonton. And you can see that funky fireplace there on the left. And there's Noreen getting her, I'm not sure what that is. That's a guy that worked for my dad. My dad was doing carpet installation. Joe was his name, and he's still around. He's probably in his 70s. So, yeah, I still have clear memories of this Christmas. The way it always worked was we would go in our bedrooms and then wait for the doorbell to ring, which would signify that Santa was there or had been there and we could now come out. So that was a very exciting time to wait in the bedroom. There's my aunt holding up the game to her chest because my mom was saying something like, "Oh, he's filming you." So she seemed to be a little embarrassed there. So we would wait in the room for the doorbell to ring. And I remember, I think it was this year too, where we were taken outside and there was snow and shown footsteps in the pathway to the house. And Dad would say, "Well, that was Santa's footsteps." And we were like, "Wow. Oh, my mom's got a viewmaster there." And I think that was probably my brother's gift. Yeah, those were the good old days. It was exciting to look at pictures from TV shows and things like that. So that's my dad there with the sideburns. He died about almost 2 years ago. Went in his sleep. I think he smoked most of his life and drank as well. He had also a drinking problem for years, probably not until maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 years after this. Then he started to get bad with the drinking. And that kept us estranged for years because I couldn't deal with all these stories that were coming out. But he, I think he managed to improve, and then I got in contact with him again. And so we were in contact for the last 10, 15 years of his life, and I would always go out and visit him in Mission, and where he got divorced from Mom, I think in the mid-90s, and then he had a partner there, and so we would just go see them in the trailer. He basically lost everything after the divorce. He spent all his money on booze, but as far as these early days, my memories were pretty good of this time. I got a lot of gifts this year. I got the Wing It game. Oh, and there's my hockey net. That was also exciting. That's the room right off to the side of the basement there with the saloon swing doors, which leads to a bar. And you see that red rope on the cork walls that was made to look like a alien landscape, and it had lamps on it to like it was the sun. So Dad was always very creative with his fixing things up around the house. And a train set, if you can believe it. So that was like massive. I remember that he would be putting this together in the garage, and he would always put stuff over the windows so I couldn't look in there, because I remember, why are the windows covered? So he was putting it together in the garage, getting it ready for this assembly. So yeah, distinctly remember that, and then getting the hockey net, and you can see the saloon doors there that go into the bar. So I think I also got a Hot Wheels Great Getaway set there. I'm not sure if you see it. Oh, Mom's got her lingerie. Very nice. I don't remember ever seeing her in that. But this is... okay, see toy phones there on the carpeted floor. There's the old TV set. I think we had that set for at least, I don't know, late 60s or it was late 60s, at least until the mid 80s. I just remember growing up with that set. So even when we moved to Abbotsford, which is close to Vancouver, that set was there up until like 1982. 20-inch color Zenith. So got a lot of use out of it. And yeah, it was a cozy little basement. The fireplace and the way the tree was set up. I mean, there was the TV room. There's my sister on her phone. So yeah, we ended up moving in 73, just before Christmas 73. So I think my parents really wanted to get out of Edmonton. They were tired of the cold winters. And they had already been visiting British Columbia quite a bit, or going to Banff and Jasper. So I remember that was always a thing, to be going on holidays out there. So they obviously liked it. And then he probably had a job offer. And then obviously getting a good deal on a house in Abbotsford. That was a bigger house than this one we had here. That house, by the way, is still there. That entire neighborhood is like frozen in amber. I went back there about 20 years ago, and I was hoping to meet the people in the house. I went and knocked on their door, but nobody was home. But it looked exactly the same, and every house in the neighborhood was the same. There were no shops or anything around there that would need to be, closed up and turned into condos. But it was really bizarre to see the neighborhood looking exactly the same as we left it. My school, which was just down the block, much nicer school than the one I ended up going to in Abbotsford, which looked like a chicken shack. It was one of those old, portable systems, they called it. They could move them around on wheels. I mean, it was an ancient school, like 3-room school made in the 40s. So I really thought it was a barnyard for animals. It just looked totally decrepit. I had a great time there, but my initial impression was not favorable, because I came out of this nice modern school in Edmonton, which was made of bricks, and it looked really good. It was really large as well. So yeah, that was a bit of a shock. So yeah, there are the snacks. Just love these the clothing styles of the time. Everything was just really bright and flowery. I'm wearing my purple jacket there, fairly dressed up. So yeah, Christmas always came with snacks. This is Christmas Eve, by the way. It is not Christmas morning, as we're a German heritage. We always celebrate on Christmas Eve. So my sister must have been 4 there, and she's a nurse for the last 25 years. And yeah, everybody's looking happy. I remember this because there was always a lot of socializing going on. My aunt and uncle were always over, and they ended up moving with us. As we took off the next year, they also came along and set up in Langley. So now, oh, that's cute. So yeah, it was always good times with the, with the parties. There was always parties going on, and we would run down and try to join the party when we should have been in bed. And So everybody was into socializing. That sort of tapered off as, they got older. I guess it does with most people. But here, I think my parents would have been in their early 30s, maybe 31, 32 years old. And there would have been music playing here for sure. As you see the speakers on the wall, Dad was big into music, and that's why I started guitar. Oh, I also started guitar that year. So I had already been playing acoustic guitar from the age of 10. And didn't get my electric until the end of 1975. That is another Christmas video, which I already posted. So here's where, you miss the music, where my aunt is dancing. The first time I saw this, after hadn't seen it for 40 years, I was just cracking up. And yeah, this really needs the music. So that would have been going, full blast. And probably playing some kind of rock and roll. Dad used to play a bit of everything when we were growing up, and that was a big influence on me because I heard everything from 50s, 60s, 70s music, a real mix: country, rock, folk, doo-wop, even high-no or nanamuscuri. So yeah, this is unfortunate that they hadn't developed that technology yet to put audio into the Super 8. I don't know how much longer that was before they got audio, but it probably was sometime in the next 10 years, I'm guessing. So these videos were normally not more than 5 minutes a spool. So there was a lot of splicing involved when we had to, send them off and then get them put together on a big reel so we could watch it for, 30 minutes or an hour. So Dad would have to splice all that stuff together. So after he had died, I went through all the videos that my mom had in storage, and she, luckily kept everything in a box, and it was in the dark, and all still good quality in there. I think my uncle just got hit in the face by her as they were dancing. So it ended up being about 5 hours worth of Super 8 video. So I have already compiled all of that, but I'm not going to show it at once. I'm just taking clips. So I'm going to start with Christmas clips. I guess this is the bunny hop. And yeah, since I think we had every Christmas filmed from 72 up to, say, 76. So the first one was this one in Edmonton, and then end of 73, 74, 75 were filmed in Abbotsford. 76 would be back in Edmonton at my uncle's farm. Dad's brother and his wife and 2 kids had a farm outside of Edmonton. And we went there in 76 to spend Christmas for 3 days or something like that. So here's Mom acting drunk, getting dragged around the floor. So yeah, they were best of friends. And that continued for quite a few years. So, yeah, all the Christmases were filmed. And then I think Dad stopped filming Super 8 probably around 1980, 81. That's probably the last time I remember him doing anything. Well, that's the last video I saw from all the films that I transferred. And this is all broadcast onto a wall and filmed with a DLSR camera. So it was a lot of work getting a projector, getting the proper bulb, and that's it. Happy memories from Christmases 1972, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video.